Good morning, everybody. It's Bobby, and today I want to talk about swing plane. Now, if you've hung around golf for very long, you've no doubt heard that phrase, swing plane. Let's talk about what it is and why you would be at an advantage to get yours straightened out. What is swing plane? Well, it is nothing but an extension of where the club was at address. Now, this is easy to see if you've got a golf ball up here on this plane. And if the club starts horizontal, what would you do? You would swing the club exactly horizontal throughout the entire swing. There would be no need for you to go up. In fact, if you did that, someone would say, that's silly, why are you going up? Well, the need to stay on that plane is exactly the same, whether this starts horizontal or it's down here. It's still simply an extension. The golf club is going to be most efficiently swung when it stays on the plane established at address. It shouldn't go vertical. However, in almost every case, most people's golf swings are too vertical. Why? Well, because the golfer is trying so desperately to keep the club traveling up and down the line. It seems like that would lend to accuracy. In other words, so this is the target line. Most golfers are thinking about swinging the club back on that line and swinging it through, thinking that that will lend to accuracy. But keep in mind, you're not standing on the line. So this is the target line. If I'm throwing a baseball, I can throw right down that line. If I'm bowling, I can go right down that line, or fishing, I can go right down that line. But in golf, I'm not standing on that line, I'm standing off the line. And so any attempt to stay on the line with the club is simply futile and not going to help at all. That's why everybody's so vertical. And so keep in mind that this golf club is only square for an instant. If I put this up against a wall, the moment I start swinging, it gets farther away from that wall. The same thing down here. This thing goes away from the target line, is only square for an instant, and then goes away from that target line again. And so let me say that again. We are all, for the most part, our conception of what we're trying to do is off. We're thinking about swinging down the line, and as a result of that, we're just simply too steep, most people. When someone's too flat, that very rarely happens. When they're too flat, when they've gotten too far down here, it just means they've lost their posture. The arms themselves aren't too flat, they just stood up, which had a flattening effect on this. And so what I'm gonna do is next week, I'm gonna detail for you exactly how you can shallow out your swing, and I'm talking about bringing some unbelievable zip. You're talking about when the middle of that club face hits the back of that ball, it's gonna go and go and go, and there's gonna be a perceptible difference in how far the ball goes, and just how much energy you release at the moment of impact. Why? Because when you get this thing on the right plane, you're using your body as an axis. There's centrifugal force that you simply couldn't use. Remember, someone who swings vertically isn't swinging around their axis. They're violating every principle of a true swing. They're swinging beside their axis, and there can be no power, and that's simply an arm swing. So again, tune in next week. We'll talk about how to shallow your swing and give you some unbelievable zip. I want to thank you for watching.